Here's young Buzz Sawyer. Joined Georgia Championship Wrestling recently.
2-3, and it is all over. Ricky Fields has been watching all of this, obviously.
What a super move that was. That was our amateur move, and whenever you get a guy in that move there, it's all over.
Yeah, I was just going to say that, of course, he reverted back to the basics. This is what you do, and that's what it's all about. The name of the game is wrestling.
That's what it's all about. Thank you very much, Gordon.
Okay, Ricky Fields and...
Gordon, we have some more TV time left. You have a standby match?
That's very good. Good, appreciate that. Okay, we do have a little more time left, so we are going to have a standby match. Buzz Sawyer in a very, very quick victory over his opponent, so we will be having a standby match in just a moment. And that standby match is featuring one of the toughest men in professional wrestling. Okay, Curtis Brazil going up against Killer Carl Cox. Cox, of course, the Georgia heavyweight champion. And an extremely rugged man. And off the wall. There's no question about that. He is off the wall. Overhooking on those arms or into the turnbuckle, and the referee calls for the break. Cox catching him on the break, catches him in the back of the head. Catches him again. Now it's Brazil firing back, but having little effect. Cox underhooks the arms now. Double underhook. And Brazil is down. Brazil trying to battle his way out. Referee calling for the break. They're on the ropes. Notice the way Cox keeps his man tied up, now hooks him. Partial Nelson on the neck and hooks the leg. Now, side chancery. And it's Cox keeping that side chancery. Cox maintains tremendous pressure on his opponents at all times. Again, Cox with a takedown. And so Cox keeps his man in prison, keeps him on the mat, keeps wearing him down. Reverse Nelson, well applied. Brazil trying to power his way out. And so Brazil has to have the breathing system has to be grossly impaired by now. No, sir. Drop those shoulders off. They back up into those ropes now. Referee calling for the break. Cox catching him on the break. Cox catching him again. Cox continues to pummel his man. More and more punishment. Now Brazil fires back to little or no avail. Cox has him up against those ropes. Now Cox brings him up. Tries to set him. Had him in the brain buster. It's all over.
Be one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first from New York, weighing in at 235 pounds, Bill Howard. Bill Howard. His opponent now entering the ring from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 300 pounds, the Georgia TV champion, the Candyman, Ray Candy. Ray Candy.
Ray Candy going up against Bill Howard. Candy is the Georgia television champion. Candy in the red trunks. Bill Howard in the maroon and gold trunks. Howard from New York, but wearing the colors of the Golden Gophers. Break is called for. Good clean break by Candy. I have a very interesting interview coming up very, very shortly, and In case you missed it before, you're going to see something utterly amazing. With the man who made Milwaukee famous, the Crusher. Candy has that leg in prison, has Bill Howard on the canvas, the referee checking those shoulders. Howard complaining about the trunks being pulled, but that is not the case with Ray Candy. Here's a man who does not bend the rules. Good hip lock takedown by Candy on Bill Howard. I'm talking about grabbing trunks. Bill Howard doing it that time, trying to get some extra leverage. Again, Howard has those trunks, and referee warning Candy. I can't say that I blame Candy for doubling up that fist. It has to be very frustrating to be against somebody who's constantly trying to break the rules. Hip toss. Howard back to the canvas. Again, Howard ducking under those ring ropes. Referee starting the count. Candy stalking his man, ready. Howard drove a knee to the midsection, drives that knee in again. Candy backing away. Howard using a forearm. Candy fires back and rocks Bill Howard. Rocks him again, and Howard in trouble now. Snap mirror that takes him to the canvas. Nice to have some folks here today from Cartersville. Also, some folks from Hiram and Dallas. I guess they're in Paulding County, I believe. Nice to have them here. And my good friend Ray Smith from Calhoun visiting the matches today. Rear chin lock now by Ray Candy. Keeps the pressure on Bill Howard. Candy keeps that rear chin lock. The referee watching carefully Howard. Loath to move until he can figure a way to go with this man, Candy, and that's difficult to figure. Candy can pretty generally stay a step ahead of you. Ray Candy has held the Georgia Television Championship for quite some time now, and held it very well, I might add. He's taken on a lot of comers for that title. Because when you're the Georgia Television Champion, you're nationwide, really. No matter where you're watching us right now, you're seeing some of the finest in wrestling action. You got a man like Candy who will concentrate on one hold, keep his man imprisoned. Physical punishment here and also psychological punishment. Howard back on his feet. Howard backing away. Candy getting set. And it was Howard. Forearm across the arm to Ray Candy. They close in again. Howard using that forearm effectively. Takedown by Howard under dubious circumstances. Again, Candy taken off his feet. So Bill Howard pressing an advantage here. Good short chopping forearm on the break, however, by Howard. Howard catches him again on the side of the ear. And now the tide of battle may be turning slightly here. Ray Candy having his problems. Howard, the midsection. Now Candy fires back. Howard, one to the midsection, another one to the midsection. Candy headhunting now. Howard dropped to the canvas again. Ray Candy catches him to the side of the head. Off the ropes, Candy with a good shoulder smash. Howard charged in that time. Candy broke it up. Candy down with that elbow, but Howard is out of the way. Howard tried to bring him into a body slam, and Candy reversed that situation very nicely. Hooked him into a beautiful inside cradle, hooking both legs, a nice pinfall. I will take a moment here to talk to Ray Candy, the Georgia television champion. At a couple of times there in the match, Ray, you look like you were in a bit of trouble.
That's right. When you carrying a title like this, the opponents get tougher and tougher. Bill Howard, like this, he's a tough competitor. I wrestled a man many times before, but that's the toughest match I ever had with him. But if he wants another chance, he can get it too. People like Ernie Ladd and the Heenan family, they don't want me to have this belt, but I don't care what they want. If they want this belt so bad, all they got to do is sign a contract. I'll wrestle them for it. I ain't backing up or crawling for nobody.
Well, there you have it, the comments from Ray Candy. And
The Georgia TV Championship, one fall with a TV time limit. Introducing first the challenger, Killer Carl Cox, accompanied by his manager, Pretty Boy Bobby Heenan. His opponent, weighing in at 320 pounds, the bad man from Borger, Texas, the Georgia TV champion, Stan the Lariat Hansen.
Stan the Lariat Hansen putting the Georgia television championship on the line against Killer Carl Cox. All right. Cox getting set to move out. Back into the ring ropes. The referee separates them, and once again they close in like two hungry bears. Again, the referee trying to separate them, and both men tremendously intent on the match. They're into the ropes, and again, the referee trying to separate them. Hansen now with a side headlock on Killer Carl Cox. Now Cox, forearms into the ribcage of Stan Hansen. Hansen applying the pressure on that side headlock. Hansen at about 300 pounds from Borger, Texas. Good block by Hansen, back into a side headlock on Killer Carl Cox. Cox still trapped in that side headlock. Face and head reddening considerably from the pressure applied by Stan Hansen. Hansen, taller and the heavier of the two. He is the Georgia television champion. High hip toss by Stan the Lariat Hansen. Hip lock takedown by Hansen into a side headlock. Referee watching carefully now. Bobby Heenan pacing back and forth and a look of consternation on his face. He's the one that goaded Hansen into this situation. So he has his championship match. That's what he wanted. All right. Hansen. That pressure on. Cox with a taped hand. Rolls him in. Tried for the pin. And Heenan complaining about a slow count, but that was not a slow count. referee checking their shoulders once again. And again, Cox bridging. You can see he had those fronts, however. And Hansen firing a miss now. Opens up some heavy artillery on Killer Carl Cox. All right. Cox now. There you see Heenan. Obviously disgruntled over this turn of events. Thus far, Cox has not been able to garner that title. Cox now has the television champion in trouble. Catches him again. And now Heenan looking more pleased, asking for the brainbuster. Cox on low, so does Hansen now. And they're both into those ring ropes. Hansen partially outside the ropes.
Garden Soley.
Ernie the Cat Lad has just come over here to the... All right, Ernie the Cat Lad has joined me over here, and he wants to show us something here on television.
Watch it. This is what I think of it.
Wait a minute now, isn't that Stan Hansen's hat?
Nothing about Stan Hansen.
Well, and Hansen coming out over here. We've got a slugfest going on over here. Let me get out of the way. And it's Ernie the Cat Lad on a wild melee now. Hansen was counted out. Hansen was counted out of the ring. Hansen left the ring. He was counted out. Fought again. Hansen outside. And Cox. Hansen was counted out of the ring. This means that Cox is the new television champion. Tommy Rich has just charged the ring. Tommy Rich pounding away at Killer Carl Cox. Rich has gone wild. Tommy Wildfire Rich, and it's we've got total bedlam now in the ring filling up. We've got everybody jumping into that ring at one time. Ole Anderson holding him off now. And it is Tommy Wildfire Rich still pounding away. We're going to try and get order restored here in just a minute if we can. And we've got Ernie Ladd trapped here trying to get around Stan Hansen and Ole Anderson.
Well, it's been some progress.
All right, Tony Atlas moving against Jim Nelson. As I said, of course, this is one fall, 15-minute time limit. Fireman carry takedown by Atlas. Nelson complaining, but to no avail to the referee. I think he realized there was nothing really to complain about. A side headlock by Jim Nelson. Tony Atlas goes into that Atlas little shuffle and moves out of it. Good, beautiful move by Atlas. Duck under, go behind a heel block and a takedown. Into those ropes and back on their feet once again. Tony Atlas now with a side headlock. You imagine